everyone! Welcome back to Business English Desk. I'm Laura.
And I'm Jamie. And okay, today's topic, oh my gosh, I've genuinely been waiting to record this one.
Every week, Jamie.
Every week. I mean it. But seriously, today's 4 expressions are ones you use constantly without even noticing, and they're all built around one simple word, look.
And that's what's so interesting about look. Like, on its own, it just means to use your eyes to see something, but add a tiny word after it, and suddenly it means something completely different.
So today, we're covering look into, look after, look up to, and look down on.
Yes, 4 expressions, so many meanings, so many real situations. And honestly, 2 of these carry real emotional weight, like real feelings about people.
They really do. Like, look isn't just a physical action anymore. By the time we're done today, you'll see it's about investigating, caring, admiring, and even judging.
Let's get into it. Look into.
So this one is really practical. Like, it's one of those expressions you'll use in almost every area of life. Work, personal stuff, everything.
So the core meaning of look into is to investigate something or to research something. Like you want more information before you decide or before you act. You look into it.
Like, I'll look into it. That's such a common phrase. Like, someone asks you a question, you don't know the answer, but you say, let me look into that. Meaning, I'll find out. I'll investigate. I'll look into it.
And this is used constantly in professional situations. Like, we're looking into why the numbers dropped last quarter. Meaning, we're investigating. We're trying to understand. We're looking into it.
Or, can you look into flights for next month? Meaning, can you research? Can you check prices? Can you look into it before we book anything?
And look into also works for more serious situations, like the police are looking into the incident, meaning they're investigating formally, carefully. They're looking into it.
And that version of look into feels a lot more serious than just, I'll look into that restaurant. Same expression, completely different weight depending on the context.
Right, like look into scales the same way as I'm in did last episode. It works for something small, like checking a recipe, or something huge, like a criminal investigation.
We really do keep finding this pattern in every episode.
Because it's true. Like, these small expressions are so flexible. And look into also carries this feeling of curiosity. Like, you're not just accepting what you're told. You want to dig a little deeper.
Right, like if someone tells you that company isn't reliable, you might say, really? I'll look into that. Meaning, I'll want to verify it myself before I believe it completely. I'll look into it.
And in customer service, this phrase is absolutely everywhere. Like, I understand your concern. Let me look into this and get back to you. That's such a professional, reassuring thing to say.
It really is. Like it tells the person, I'm not ignoring you. I'm taking action. I'm looking into it. And that small phrase can completely change how someone feels about a frustrating situation.
And there's a slightly different use, like I've been looking into starting my own business, meaning I've been researching, thinking about it, exploring the idea, looking into it.
And this version is so common when someone is exploring a new interest or a new direction in life. Like, I've been looking into moving to a new city, or she's been looking into adopting a dog.
And it always has this early stage feeling, like you haven't decided yet. You're just exploring, just gathering information, just looking into it.
And there's another layer worth mentioning here, like look into often comes right before a promise, like I'll look into it and let you know. That second half, and let you know, is basically built into how we use this phrase.
That's such a good point. Like, people rarely just say, I'll look into that, and stop there. They usually add some kind of follow-up. I'll look into it and get back to you tomorrow. Or I'll look into it and see what I can find. There's this implied promise of a next step.
And that's actually what makes it feel so trustworthy. Like when someone says, let me look into it, you expect they're actually going to do it, not just brush you off.
Right. And if someone says, let me look into it, and never mentions it again, that feels really disappointing. Like the phrase itself carries an expectation, and breaking that expectation feels worse than if they'd just said, I'm not going to check on that.
Exactly. So use this phrase honestly. Only say, I'll look into it if you actually mean you're going to do something about it.
And one more use worth mentioning, look into someone's eyes. That one's a bit more literal and more romantic, actually. Like, he looked into her eyes and knew. That version is much more about literal seeing, but still carries that same feeling of depth, of searching for something beneath the surface.
Ooh, I like that connection. Like even in the romantic sense, looking into someone's eyes still means trying to understand something deeper, trying to find the truth.
Okay, expression 2, look after. Now this one is really warm, like it's one of those expressions that carries real care, real responsibility.
So, look after means to take care of someone or something, like you're responsible for their well-being. Like, can you look after my dog this weekend? Meaning, can you take care of him, feed him, walk him, watch over him, look after him?
And this phrase is used so naturally between friends, between family. Like, my sister looked after my kids while I was traveling, meaning she took responsibility, she made sure they were safe, she looked after them.
And look after also works for yourself. Like, you need to look after yourself, meaning take care of your health, your well-being. Don't neglect yourself. Look after yourself.
And I think that version is honestly one of the most important things anyone can say. Like, look after yourself sounds so simple, but it carries so much genuine care.
It really does. Like when someone says that to you at the end of a conversation, take care, look after yourself. It feels like a small hug in words.
And look after also means to manage something, like a responsibility that isn't a person. Like, she looks after the finances for the whole team, meaning she manages them, she's responsible for them, she looks after them.
Or, who's looking after the store while you're gone? Meaning, who's responsible for it? Who's managing it? Who's looking after it while you're not there?
And this use is really common in workplace conversations. Like, can you look after this client while I'm on leave? Meaning, can you handle their needs? Can you take responsibility? Can you look after them?
And there's a British English version too. Like in British English, look after is used even more than take care of. Like, who's looking after the children tonight is much more natural in British English than who's taking care of the children tonight.
Interesting distinction. Like, both work in American English too, but look after has a slightly gentler, more nurturing feeling to it.
And look after also has this protective quality. Like, he's always looked after his younger brother, meaning he's protected him, guided him, been there for him, looked after him throughout his whole life.
That version feels almost like a life theme. Like, it's not just one afternoon of babysitting, it's a pattern, a role someone plays in another person's life.
Exactly. Like, look after can describe a single afternoon or an entire relationship, and you can tell which one just from the context. Like, can you look after my cat this weekend is small and temporary, but she's always looked after her family is deep and ongoing.
And there's another version that's really tender, like when someone is sick or elderly. Like, her daughter moved back home to look after her, meaning her daughter took on this real responsibility, this real commitment to care for her, day after day.
That's such a heavy but beautiful version of this phrase. Like, it's not just convenient care, it's sacrifice. It's choosing to reorganize your entire life to look after someone you love.
And in a professional review context, you'll hear things like, she really looks after her junior employees, meaning she mentors them, she supports them, she makes sure they're doing okay, not just professionally, but as people. And that's honestly one of the highest compliments you can give a manager. Like, she looks after her people. That's not about being soft. That's about being a genuinely good leader.
Completely agree. And there's also a lighter version, like, can you look after my seat while I grab a coffee? Meaning, can you just watch it, make sure nobody takes it? Super casual, super quick, but still that same root meaning. Watch over, take responsibility.
Okay, expression 3, look up to. Now, this one is really beautiful. Like, it's about admiration, about respect, about how we see the people who inspire us.
So, look up to someone means to admire them, to respect them deeply, like they're someone you aspire to be like. Like, I've always looked up to my grandmother, meaning I admire her, I respect her, she inspires me, I look up to her.
And this phrase carries such warmth. Like when you say, I look up to you, to someone, you're telling them you matter to me. You've shaped who I am. I look up to you.
And that's why this phrase comes up so often between children and parents, between students and teachers, between younger people and mentors. Like, she's always looked up to her older sister.
And there's something really interesting about the literal image behind look up to. Like, you physically look up when someone is taller or above you. And emotionally, we use that same image for someone we admire. Like they're a little above us in some way, someone we're reaching toward.
That's such a nice way to think about it. Like, look up to isn't about someone being better than you in a mean way. It's about aspiration. It's about wanting to grow into who they are.
Exactly. And in professional contexts, this comes up too. Like, the younger employees really look up to her, meaning they admire her work, her leadership, they respect her, they look up to her.
And that kind of admiration in a workplace is honestly one of the best signs of good leadership. Like, if people look up to you at work, you're doing something right.
And look up to also works for public figures. Like, millions of kids look up to that athlete, meaning he's a role model, an inspiration, someone they admire, someone they look up to.
And there's a responsibility that comes with that. Like, when people look up to you, your actions matter even more because you're influencing how they see what's possible for themselves.
That's such a powerful thought. Like, being looked up to isn't just flattering, it's actually a responsibility.
It really is. And I think that's the beauty of language like this. Two tiny words, up to, but they can carry something that heavy, something that meaningful.
Okay, last expression. Look down on. Now, this one is basically the opposite of look up to, and it carries a really negative, really important meaning.
So, look down on someone means to think you're better than them, to judge them, to feel superior. Like, he looks down on people who didn't go to college, meaning he thinks he's better than them, he judges them, he looks down on them.
And this expression carries such a strong and honestly uncomfortable feeling. Like nobody wants to be looked down on, and nobody wants to admit that they look down on others.
And that image, again, matches look up to. Like, this time you're looking down because you see yourself as being above someone. Like, literally picturing yourself higher than the other person.
And that visual is honestly kind of harsh when you think about it. Like the language itself paints a picture of one person standing above another.
Right, and this phrase comes up in conversations about class, wealth, education, background, culture. Like, some people look down on those who work in service jobs, meaning they judge them as less important, less worthy of respect.
And that's such an important thing to talk about. Like recognizing when we might be looking down on someone, even without realizing it, is a really valuable kind of self-awareness.
Exactly. And look down on doesn't always have to be about huge social issues. It can be small, too. Like, she looked down on my choice to stay in my hometown, meaning she judged that choice as less ambitious, less impressive. She looked down on it.
And that feeling of being looked down on, even in a small moment, really stays with people. Like, you remember who made you feel small and who didn't.
That's so true. And there's a version of this phrase that's a little gentler. Like, don't look down on small beginnings. Meaning, don't dismiss something just because it's not big yet. Respect the process. Don't look down on it.
And that version is used a lot in motivational contexts, like encouraging someone not to feel embarrassed about starting small. Don't look down on where you are right now.
And when you put look up to and look down on side by side, they really tell you something about how we see people. Like every person we meet, we're either looking up to them, looking down on them, or hopefully just looking at them as equals.
That's beautifully said. Like, maybe the real goal isn't looking up or looking down. It's learning to look straight across at people as equals.
That's honestly such a good note to end the section on.
And there's one more thing worth mentioning. Like, sometimes people look down on things, not people. Like, he looks down on fast food, meaning he thinks it's lesser. He judges it. He looks down on it. So this expression also works for opinions about objects, choices, habits, not just about people directly.
That's a good distinction. Like, you can look down on a certain career path, a certain lifestyle, a certain kind of music even. Like, my uncle looks down on pop music. We all know someone like that.
We really do. Every family has that one person who looks down on everyone else's music taste.
Okay, role play time. Yes, so the scenario is two coworkers, Jordan and Alex, talking about a new manager who just joined the team.
Perfect. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, have you met the new manager yet? What's your impression?
I have, actually, and honestly, I already look up to her a little bit. Like, she asked really thoughtful questions in the meeting today.
Really? That's good to hear. I was a little nervous because the last manager kind of looked down on anyone who asked questions. He made people feel kind of small.
Oh, I remember that. It was rough. Like, nobody wanted to speak up in his meetings because he'd just sigh or roll his eyes if the question seemed too basic.
Exactly. And it wasn't just questions. He kind of looked down on anyone who wasn't already an expert, like there was no room to learn on the job.
But this new one seems different. She actually said she wants to look into some of our current processes before changing anything.
That's smart. Like she's not just coming in and assuming she knows better. She's looking into things first.
Exactly. And she mentioned that she really looks after her team. Like she said, if any of you are struggling, come talk to me. I'll look into how I can help.
Wow, that's such a different energy from before. I remember feeling like nobody was looking after us under the old manager, like we were just numbers.
Right. And I think that's exactly why people looked down on him behind his back. Like, he never seemed to actually care about the team.
That's so true. Okay, so did she say anything about the Henderson project?
She did, actually. She's going to look into why it's been delayed before making any decisions. And she asked me to look after the client relationship while she reviews everything.
That's a good sign. Like she's delegating, but she's also staying informed. I think a lot of people are going to end up really looking up to her.
I think so too. Honestly, I used to look down on the idea of a female manager being too soft, which sounds so bad saying it out loud now, but she's proven that being caring and being strong aren't opposites at all.
That's really honest of you to admit that. And I think you're right. Like she looks after people and she still gets results. Those two things go together more than people think.
Completely agree. And you know what's interesting? My old roommate used to look down on any job that wasn't in finance or tech. Like, he'd hear manager and immediately assume soft skills only, no real substance.
I know people like that. Like they look down on anything that isn't a spreadsheet or a hard number.
Exactly. But this manager proves that wrong completely. She looks into the data, absolutely.
But she also looks after the actual humans doing the work.
Okay, so should we introduce ourselves properly after the meeting today?
Yes, definitely. I want to look into what her plans are for our department specifically. And honestly, I just want her to know that some of us are really glad she's here.
Agreed. And maybe we should mention how the last manager made people feel looked down on, not to complain, but just so she understands what the team has been through.
That's a really good idea. Like, she should know what she's inheriting, so she can actually look after us properly instead of just guessing.
Exactly. Okay,
let's grab her after the meeting. I think this is going to be a completely different year for this whole team.
And just like that, we covered all 4 expressions in one office conversation.
We really did, without even planning it.
Did you catch them all? I already look up to her, admiring her. He looked down on anyone who asked questions, judging them as lesser. She wants to look into current processes, investigate before acting.
She really looks after her team, takes care of them. I'll look into how I can help, investigate a solution. Nobody was looking after us. Nobody took care of us. People looked down on him, judged him negatively.
She's going to look into why it's delayed, investigate the cause, look after the client relationship, take responsibility for it. People are going to look up to her, admire her, and respect her.
I used to look down on the idea, dismiss it as inferior. She looks after people and still gets results, manages them and cares for them. I want to look into her plans, find out more information.
He used to look down on any job outside finance, judge those careers as lesser. She should know so she can look after us properly, take care of the team well.
All 4 expressions used multiple times in one totally natural, totally real conversation. That's what fluency sounds like.
It really is. And notice how much emotion was packed into this one. Like look after and look up to carry real warmth, and look down on carries real discomfort. These aren't just grammar patterns, they're feelings. Okay, quick quiz.
Let's go.
Listeners, fill in the blank. Ready? Sentence 1. I'm not sure why the printer keeps breaking. I'll blank into it.
Look into. I'll look into it.
Nice and quick.
Okay, sentence 2. My neighbor is going out of town, so I offered to blank her cat.
Look after. Look after her cat.
Exactly. Sentence 3. Ever since I was a kid, I've blank my older cousin.
Looked up to. I've looked up to my older cousin.
Perfect. That admiration feeling.
Okay, sentence 4. He never respected people who worked in retail jobs. He always blank them.
Looked down on them. He looked down on them.
Exactly, that judgmental energy.
Okay, sentence 5, a little trickier. After the accident, the insurance company said they would blank the claim.
Look into. They would look into the claim.
Right, professional investigation context.
And sentence 6. You've been working so hard lately. Please remember to blank yourself, too.
Look after yourself.
Such an important one.
Okay, sentence 7. When she moved back home to care for her aging parents, everyone said she was really blank them.
Looking after them. She was really looking after them.
Exactly right, that deeper caregiving version.
And last one, sentence 8. He always dismissed anyone who worked with their hands. He genuinely blanked down manual labor.
Looked down on manual labor.
Perfect. That's the negative judgment again.
Okay, listeners, how did you do? Drop your answers in the comments.
We genuinely read them, every single one.
You might even get a reply.
You definitely might. Okay, let's recap today's 4. Look into.
To investigate something, to research something before deciding or acting.
Sometimes casual, sometimes very formal, like a police investigation.
And often comes with an implied promise to follow up.
Look after.
To take care of someone or something, to be responsible for their well-being.
Can be a single afternoon or an entire lifetime of caring for someone. Sometimes small and casual, sometimes deeply meaningful.
Look up to.
To admire someone deeply, to respect them, to see them as inspiration.
Something we feel about mentors, family, role models, and something that comes with real responsibility if people feel it about you.
Look down on.
To judge someone, to feel superior to them, to dismiss them as lesser.
The opposite of admiration, and honestly, something worth watching for in ourselves. Whether it's about people or their choices, their work, or their circumstances. 4 tiny phrases.
So much meaning.
And honestly, this episode felt a little different, more emotional than usual.
You say that every week.
Every week I mean it.
At least you're consistent.
Consistent is my brand.
Okay, before we go, your challenge.
this week
Pick 2,
of today's 4 expressions.
just 2.
Use them in real life.
A conversation,
A text message.
even just telling someone, look after yourself before you say goodbye today.
That absolutely counts. 100% counts.
Repetition builds fluency.
Every single time.
And come back and tell us. Drop it in the comments.
I told my friend I look up to her today.
We will celebrate you.
Full cheer squad energy.
Biggest cheer squad.
If today helped you,
Give it a like.
it really helps the channel grow.
And subscribe if you haven't already.
New episodes every week.
Share with someone learning English.
Best thing you can do for a language learner.
Seriously.
All right, everyone. This has been Business English Desk. I'm Laura,
I'm Jamie.
and we'll see you next time.
Whatever you're facing today, look into it. Look after yourself. And look up to the people who make you better.
And try not to look down on anyone along the way.
Bye.
Bye.